Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is Smart TCG, and today I'm going to be going over the deck that Andrew Hedrick used to win the most recent North American International Championships. I actually ended up rooming with him, and this was my second choice for the event. I ended up playing Gardevoir, getting top 32. However, this ended up being a pretty good play as well, as you can see, winning the entire tournament. Also, there was another Turbo Lost Box in top 8, so the deck did really well. We got Comfey here with that flower selecting. Many of you already know what this card does, being able to get cards into the Lost Zone. We got the other typical Lost Zone cards, Cramorant with that Spit Innocently, Sableye as well with that Lost Mine, Radiant Greninja as well for that support with concealed cards, and also Moonlight Shuriken. And then we also got Iron Bundle. Iron Bundle really good against those Gardevoir decks, being able to push the Flutter Mane out of the active. Refrigerated Stream can sometimes be okay versus, Dragapult or some, evolution decks. However, doesn't get used a whole lot. Hyperblow also can push up things that you can use the Iron Hands on with the Amp you very much, dealing 120 damage, and if you take a knockout in this way, you take one more prize card. Some of the brand new cards in this deck are Iron Thorns with that ability that reads, as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, Pokemon with a rule box in play have no abilities except for future Pokemon. This is really good against decks like Lugia, being able to shut off the Summoning Star if it gets into the active, shuts off things like Luminion as well. Things like the Teal Mask, being able to shut that off is very important. So this card just buys you time that you typically need to establish your board state. We also got Bloodmoon Ursaluna as well, pretty much colorless Radiant Charizard, very solid attack. Starts off at 5, but for every prize card they takes becomes 1 colorless less. So typically at the end of the game, this attack costs 0 to 1 energy, which is really solid, being able to hit 240, very good to clean up games. This list is a little bit different than some of the other Lost Zone variants, as you might have seen in the past, with 4 PokéStop, just being able to burn through your deck as quickly as possible. This deck plays a lot of item cards, so being able to spam PokéStop over and over again, typically to start your turn, that's also something that's really important. Typically, you want to, as soon as you get the PokéStop, put it down and use it first, just because the information that PokéStop can give you is typically pretty beneficial on exactly, what cards you want to take off your Colress's experiment, what cards you want to take off your flower selectings as well. So typically start off with PokéStop. It's okay if you PokéStop away Pokemon or energies or supporters, because we got cards like Pal Pad, we got cards like 4 Super Out as well. So don't hesitate to spam the PokéStop over and over. You want to thin your deck as quickly as possible. But that's the list. Shout out to Andrew for winning the tournament. The list will be down in the description. But with that being said, deck's awesome. Let's hop into a game and show off just how good it is. Alrighty, so hopping into it here. See exactly what we get. Pretty okay hand. One thing that's worth noting as well is typically I like to go first with Lost Box in this format, and the reason is that with popular decks like Gardevoir and Lugia running around, those are 2 matchups where it's really important to go first against. Looks like we're not going to be going first against this Lugs, but it would be very nice because we could push something like the Thorns into the active as quickly as possible versus Lugia. That is very important. Also gives us a chance just to go turn 2 hands or turn 2 Thorns, knockout on their only Lugia potentially. So it just gives us a lot of options in a lot of situations versus things like Gardevoir as well. A lot of the time they're not going to start either Flutter Mane or Klefki, so being able to get that 1 turn of kind of guaranteed flower selectings is very important as well. So something else that's definitely worth noting. All right, we're just gonna use PokéStop here first before Nest Balls. I don't really know what these Nest Balls are gonna be for. Not 100% certain, but now at this point, I'm kind of just tempted to play them both here just to get ourselves probably a Comfey and maybe just the Iron Thorns, just getting it down as quickly as possible because I might just want to go into it here. So we'll get the Iron Thorns as well. We'll use that Pokégear, looking for Colress's experiment. We do find Colress, which is nice. And this is going to be a turn where we might not actually get like a hit with a Cram or something, but as long as we find a switch card, we should be able to go into that Thorns and put ourselves in a pretty okay spot. Things like Sableye in this matchup aren't particularly super useful. Our main attackers are going to be things like Iron Hands, Bloodmoon, Thorns as well. Sometimes you can use things like Greninja, but in this matchup, we don't really need the Sableye very much. Not a necessarily super important card, especially with things like Mist Energy running around. So I think we're just going to get ourselves the Switch Energy and the Super Rod here. It seems fine. We'd rather conserve these Super Rods in this situation. I had the option to Ninja, however, I think I'm just going to switch into the Comfey here. Get ourselves that guaranteed flower selecting. Maybe we get ourselves another switch, then we burn that energy. kind of depends exactly what we get here. We're going to take the Mirage Gate. That seems fine. Let's get ourselves that Mirage Gate. Water energies are a little bit less necessary as well in this matchup. You really want to be a little bit more careful with your lightning energies in this matchup, for sure. I have a couple more options. I didn't really do a whole lot this last turn, which does make me admittedly kind of just want to... I could just flower again and hopefully find a switch card. And maybe not guarantee get into Thorns. I think that's probably fine because my hand is admittedly pretty weak. If I do get a switch, I might just go straight into Thorns here. We'll see what we get. There's a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I don't really need that. We're going to just take the heavy ball just to thin this out. Prize yourself a Psychic Energy, Lightning Energy as well, Colress, Switch, Pal Pad, and a Super Rod. So one of each Lightning and Psychic, but other than that, nothing too bad. The Pal Pad is a little bit annoying. Also, when it comes to price checking with this deck, it's really, really important to make sure that you price check on that first search. TCG Live does it for you, so it's a lot like easier to do it on live. However, in like real life, your deck is not naturally sorted. So typically how I like to price check with this deck is it's always important to price check your energies, your Mirage Gates, things like your Colresses, your Super Rods as well. You know, things that when you use flower selecting, you really need to know the counts of, because those counts of the cards that are, you know, there can oftentimes influence exactly what you flower selecting for. So those are, you know, a couple important things to always make sure that, you know, you remember is check your prize cards, but you don't have to check all of them. For example, if you prize one of your maybe 4 Nest Ball, that's not something that you need to spend that very first search, you know, trying to prize check for. It's just not really necessary. So I know some people are always like, check all your prize cards. In reality, you don't necessarily need to do that. You just need to be checking the prize cards that you know that you're going to need in a game. So that's something that's really, really important. Don't like feel that pressure to, you know, prize check. All right, there's Summoning Star. Unfortunately, I was able to get out Summoning Star here, but that is okay. Hopefully they don't have anything else. There is the Mist Energy going on to the Lugia V-Star. We are going to see that Archeops's Primal Turbo be used. I have a couple options here. We could just potentially use Volt Cyclone with Prime Catcher to knock out an Archeops if they don't get anything else down. We definitely have options here. Definitely have plenty of options. It just really kind of comes down to if we can get ourselves one of those Colresses for that next turn. It's a little bit unfortunate that we did have to burn that Pokégear, but it is what it is. There's another Primal Turbo being used. They got the Legacy Energy onto the Lugia here too. Interesting. Looks like they're attaching 2 there. Looks like Archeops might be the option. We might just chase. I mean, we could just chase the Archeops with Gift and give them up to 7, but just get the energies out of the deck. Just to try and potentially run them out, right? So we'll see. Let's bring out Comfey. Draw for turn. PokéStop, not bad. We'll just send the stop here. Okay. In this spot, I probably do want a Super Rod here. I can probably Super Rod back Comfey, Comfey plus Lightning Energy. Again, I already have one. I might just need multiple Comfeys this turn. Yeah, we'll go Comfey. I guess we'll just put back 1 Comfey. That's probably fine because we can get 3 down here anyways. So we'll just use the Super Rod, get these all back into the deck here because I need to hit some flower selectings here. I think my goal in this situation, I could have got back Bundle to try and bundle. However, I really want to try and chase this thing with energy because I think there's a chance I can run them out maybe. And they also can't deal with Iron Thorns as well. They can't one-shot Thorns, so just there's like multiple good things about this situation. We'll go flower selecting. There's Colress, fantastic. This guarantees us the 7, which is great. We'll just play the Colress here right now. Getting ourselves the Lightning Energy, the Switch Cart, and probably the Cramorant. Just want to hold this around. I don't really need to get up to 10 in this situation, especially because I tossed away the Sableye, so not going to be super, super important. But we do have it here, nice and easy. We'll attach for turn here. Now, this is where I'm just not going to flower select anymore before I use Mirage Gate. I just want to always Mirage Gate first in this situation. No reason for me to be doing anything else. So just get these 2 energies. I want to hold one of the Lightnings in deck just in case I need to amp potentially, or even just bench Iron Hands next turn, attach for turn. That's something I can do as well. So It is honestly tempting just to chase this, and maybe they don't have anything. It is tempting, because I guess if they don't have Bloodmoon, they might be put in a really bad spot if we can just... Yeah, I think in this situation, I also might want to bench hands. There's an argument to bench hands. Like, I could go, like, Volt Cyclone and then get an energy onto hands, potentially. So, I have options. Do I want to give them the energy? Do I think it matters that much? Do I think they play something like Weirdeer? I mean, they could already KO me anyways with the Deer. Maybe I just don't really care about these. Maybe it's fine. Yeah, all right. We'll just go after this instead. I changed my mind. Let's just chase this. We're going to go into Comfey because if I find myself in Iron Hands here, I can just Volt Cyclone onto the Iron Hands. And if not, it's not that big of a deal. We'll just take the Mirage Gate. That's pretty good. We've only used one Mirage Gate as well, so being very careful about how many of those we use is very, very important. All right, we're going to use Volt Cyclone, taking this knockout. I have the option to bench something like Ursaluna to load energy onto it. However, I don't think that's super necessary. Radiant Greninja is not going to be a card that I really feel like I have to use in this game, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be super relevant. So we're just going to attach an energy onto the Comfey here. If I had Sableye, I would definitely be looking to, you know, maybe use something like that Radiant Greninja, but in this situation, I don't really need to. So I'm going to take a prize card here. It is a Super Rod. Not too bad. One thing also is that Iron Thorns' Volt Cyclone is mandatory. That is something that gotta remember, it is mandatory. Another cool thing about this spot is that they can't actually use the Lumineon because of the Iron Thorns' ability, initialization. So a little bit awkward for them probably to deal with in this spot here. So definitely looking okay. I could potentially Super Rod and bundle now this turn. That is a possibility here. There is the research. They did attach the DTE, like maybe they do play Deer. And if they do play Deer, they put themselves in a spot where they have to burn even more energies onto a Pokemon that can just get one shot by Bloodmoon. Oh no. No, you can't do that. There's a Thorns in the active. Okay. They also can't Deer. Wait a minute. They actually can't even Deer because of initialization. Never mind. This is really bad for them then. All right, we might be cooking. Here. They could they'd have to go like Counter Catcher around it and then Deer and then Boss. I don't know. They would need a whole lot of different things. But anyways, there's the bench of the Minchino. We're probably gonna see the Turbo just getting 2 energies onto this, but we just have Cram. We can just Cram, spit that later on. We're eventually gonna be able to Boss's Orders, Iron Hands this for 3 as well. So what we can do is we can go Volt Cyclone, knock this out, they KO us, so we can then go Cram KO and then look for a Boss's Orders knockout on that. But just really showing how powerful the Iron Thorns is in this matchup. I kind of forget how many things this thing actually, you know, shuts off. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so we did get Colress, which is really nice. Nothing really to Super Rod in this spot here, as I am totally okay just knocking this thing out here. Just taking so many energies off the board. It's fine. They attack me with Shinchino. Don't really care. So we'll just use Colress's Experiment, looking for 1 energy here. There is an Iron Hands. A couple of Switch Carts. That's okay, because we do have energies in the deck here that I can just go bench Iron Hands, load hands up here. So this does seem okay, actually. Because we have 1 in the Lost Zone. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 energy left. Okay, so we'll go bench Iron Hands. I guess we can Switch Cart and Flower again, but I think I just want a Mirage Gate here instead. We'll go Mirage Gate, 1, 2. We'll attach the water energy. It doesn't really matter where this goes. It can just go here. And then this can go here. We can Flower Selecting an extra time. However, I don't really think I need to in this spot. I think that we can just go Volt Cyclone, take the KO, and then start flowering next turn. So Volt Cyclone, 280, taking that knockout here. Only taking 1 prize card is important to note. However, we do get to move the energy onto the Iron Hands, and this is kind of just a perfect game for us here. We have everything that we need in this situation, and I'm not really sure exactly what they can do here, because we can now, if they just go Shinchino KO, we can simply then just go okay, use the Cramorant, go down to 3, and then chase for that Boss's Orders to slam the door on this game. So this Iron Thorns probably just causing a lot of issues because they can't use things like Lumineon for Iono or Roxanne if they play it. So There's a lot of really awkward situations that they're kind of being pushed into in this spot. So there's the Cinccino, there is the Lugia V as well. We might just see the KO with that Speed Wing here. However, taking the knockout on this Archeops will mean that they have no more ways to accelerate energies onto the field here, which typically spells disaster for Lugia. So we'll see what they do. There is the Iono. All right, so they did end up having it. A very, very big Iono here. Going to be able to disrupt me. Looks like I did get myself a Mirage Gate, which is good. We have currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know there's an energy in there. There were 2 energies, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. But we know an energy got put back. Okay. We'll see what they end up doing here. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 6. Oh, this is all their energy. Okay, so if we just knock out the Cinccino, the game ends. Most likely. Most likely the game ends. Should be fine. Even if like they go KO hands and we just go Cram Spit, like that probably ends the game too. So there's like multiple ways we can kind of end the game. Okay, there's Super Out as well. I'm not going to use it just yet though, because I have Boss. I'm looking for a Gust effect here. So we'll go Flower. There's the Boss's orders. Beautiful. Now we have 2 energies in here. We'd like to put 3 in just so we have more energies in the deck. We could also put Bundle back in. That's another thing too. However, I don't think we particularly need Bundle in any situation. So we'll just go Retreat into Iron Hands, Super Rod, back in the 3 energies, 1, 2, and 3, because I can amp anything for knockout next turn regardless, so it's not too big of a deal. We'll use the Mirage Gate here. Going to be able to get ourselves the 3rd Lightning. That seems fine, and then this energy as well. I guess actually we probably want to do this. This is probably better because we want to split the energies so we can Mirage Gate too. Yeah, this seems better. All right, 1 and 2, 3rd Lightning onto this. Seems fine. Fully committing here. We're going to be able to Boss's orders, knock out that Cinccino, and I don't really think there's going to be anything else that they can do here. We can use the Ampy very much, taking this out, leaving them pretty much with no energies, I hope. And this should mean we will get the game here. As long as they don't play some crazy amount of energies that I'm not aware of, because there's 1, 2, 3, there's 13, 14, 15, 16. They would need 3 more on the... Yeah, it's not happening. Unless they play like 20 energies, then there's nothing else that they're going to be able to do here. Thankfully. I think. I could be caught off guard here, but shouldn't be anything. We'll see, though. Consulting their options, seeing exactly what they want. No Pal Pad for Boss here, unfortunately. But we can't just knock out anything. Arm Press knocks out anything. Ampy very much. Gets the job done. Should be pretty good here. There's the Great Ball. Going to be able to see kind of what they got left here. I guess their play would be Bloodmoon. That's like their only routes here is the Bloodmoon. But I don't even think they have an energy to do that. That's the problem. Because they're down 13, 14. Yeah, I doubt they play 17. They would need a 17th energy here. You'd be able to do anything. At that point, I don't think it would still work. Because they just don't have energies left, right? Yeah. Because like most of these Lugia, let's just play 16 energies. And they're also down the Teddy Bear too. Yeah, okay, they're farmed. I think. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to see a gentle slap here, maybe? Evolve into Lugia. They're just playing out their hand here. Iono being used. Maybe they got themselves a secret counter catcher to try and lock something in the active for a couple turns and gentle slap away. Not 100% sure. We drew ourselves that Roxanne though, so we'll be pretty much guaranteed to find a switch card if they found a way to gust something into the active here. And there is the concession. So going to be able to take that game there. Pretty long game. Good kind of showing of exactly what you want to be doing in the matchup. But That is Lost Zone Toolbox, the Lost Zone list that Andrew used to win the North American International Championships. I hope this was useful. A couple, kind of important tips to, kind of think about is when it comes to price checking, you don't have to price check all of your things with this deck. Price check the most important things like Colress's Experiments, Super Odds, Mirage Gates. Those are really kind of the, really just like critical cards you need to make sure. Also the energies as well. You always want to price check your energies so you always know what you have. So that's important. A couple other things. The Iron Thorns, as you can see, is very, very good in this matchup. However, in some matchups, it's not necessarily super useful against things like Gardevoir. Raging Bolt, it's okay against because you can kind of slow them down. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me today. Thank you so much for all the support as always. I appreciate it. If you enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you're looking for any Pokemon TCG product as well, make sure to go check out GameGridSoc.com. You can use my code SmartTCG for 5% off on your next order. Thanks so much for all the support. I appreciate it. This is SmartTCG, and I'll speak with you again soon. Peace.